This is the
X-Pod.
podcast
Of X.
something.
X-Pod.
Nope.
Yes, it's the
Not the
X-Pod.
X-Pod. What are we called?
I don't know.
It is the X-Pod. I just say nope at the end.
Hello, and this is Red X Productions.
The X-Pod, if you will. If we had a catchy theme song to play right now, I guarantee it would not sound like this. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Oh, God forbid.
Yeah, watching like in a few years, that's like a death metal version of that is what we're gonna open to every single time we do this. With like a chorus voice, like all of us.
Somehow I get the disturbing idea that you're probably right.
Yeah. Topic for today, and has been for weeks. We've just been recording this for weeks.
Or trying to record this for weeks, anyway.
We just sit here all day talking at each other until we can get something interesting going.
Yeah.
Basically, topic is nostalgia. Video games or other kind of stories or stuff that we liked as kids.
Mm-hmm.
Or that we remember from the golden days, like Nirvana. You know, as in, like, a feeling.
What? Okay, sure. You know what? Don't explain it to me. Sure. Okay.
It's gonna start. So, did you have a PS2 or like a GameCube when you were a kid?
Well, when I was younger, the first thing that I had, well, not really the first thing. Well, the first video game that I played was in church.
Yeah, that's pretty ironic.
Yeah.
Actually, where I played my first person shooter in church.
Yeah, at church, at the Well, which is a youth group thing, you know?
Yeah.
So, they had, before the Well, they had what was called Happy Hour. This was before the youth group leader figured out that happy hour is actually the thing that happens at a bar where drinks are like 50% off or whatever. So anyway, this was before he figured that out. They had like an hour where they had video games. So one time I went with my sister to the youth group. I don't even remember why. I was too young for it. And Super Smash Bros. Brawl was there on the N64.
Brawl.
I mean, not Brawl. Not Brawl. Brawl was not back then.
For those of you kids that have been watching, you know, if you're not a 90s kid, then it's probably a shock to you that Super Smash Bros. Brawl was not existent back then. It was N64 or GameCube if you were rich.
It was Super Smash Bros., just the original Super Smash Bros.
Yeah, back when Ness was a complete boss, and Pikachu could beat anybody, and Kirby was a death sentence.
Anyway, Super Smash Bros. Brawl was the first game. It was the first game I ever played, I think, as far as I can remember. I may have played arcade games or something like that before that. I think I played Gauntlet at Chaz's church before that. But that's the first game that I can actually like remember coherently playing. I always like to play Link.
Yeah, I heard like back then he was like the best character next to like Kirby.
He was. Like I know because he was. I know because I got Super Smash Bros. For the Wii. But, yeah.
You can get the original for the Wii?
Yeah.
Man, I'm totally out of sync. That's awesome.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? And, for your information, I was like 5 then. Back then, I was kind of an idiot, but, well, I mean, I was bad at video games, so this was before I got my NES. So, I failed miserably. Especially considering there was this one kid who, I guess he had it at home, so he was NES, and I tried playing as NES, and I could not figure out how to do the specials.
Oh,
and
nice.
So, in Brawl, like, anybody who's, well, I mean, not in Brawl, but anybody who's played Brawl knows that there's, like, the special and B, up and special and down and special and that.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, back then there was not a side and special, so it wasn't that easy to figure out. No, there wasn't.
There was no side special?
There was no side special. That would just give you the normal special.
Oh, just special up and then down?
Special up and down, yeah, that was it.
Wow.
Like, be jumping and hit the Super Smash Bros. Brawl thing, you know? Or, I mean, not Brawl. I'm stuck on Brawl for some reason. Why is this? So I would just, like, use PK Thunder or something like that. But yeah.
Oh, what happened? How did I do that?
Yeah, that was pretty much me. And then after I did that, I just randomly started button mashing, just trying to figure out how did I do that? And nobody else knew because nobody else ever played NES. Except this one kid who was really good with NES, and he just kept on owning us whenever he played.
Yeah, people were like, how you do that? And he's like, I'm not telling.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Ness is not really the character that you want to start out with. Ness
is the one that you want to get. You want to get good at the game and then play Ness.
Yeah, any of the Super Smash Bros. Brawl games. Any of the Super Smash Bros. Games. Ness is that one character where if you're good at it, you're undefeatable. But if you're not good at it, you might as well just go back to playing as Mario or Ike, because that's the best thing you can do.
Yeah. So, what was your first video game?
Well, first video game that I actually really enjoyed playing, no joke, was SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. Seriously, this is the only good SpongeBob game ever created. It had like a 4.5 star review from like IGN, International Game Network, or whatever their thing is. It was that good.
Wow.
Like, it was one of the very few kids games where you could get away with your life being pairs of underwear and having every attack being based on some kind of bubble. And since you're underwater and, like, plus bubbles, you could make anything. When you got to the end of the game, when you, like, passed, like, the third huge, gigantic boss, second, you got, like, this cruise missile that you could, literally like an RPG. So SpongeBob would just stand there with his bubble wand, he'd look over, it was, like the kind you get from, like, a bubble.
Yeah.
Blow with, not like a magic wand, like, I am Magic SpongeBob! I will blow you to death with my magic bubbles! No, that is kind of how it is. But, basically.
Yeah.
Basically, he'd just stand there holding it, and then when you let go of R1, he'd flip it in the air and shoot out this massive rocket. And then you go into first person and you control the rocket. And this would let you, like, solve, like, puzzles where you need to blow up stuff. And it's actually the most powerful move in the game. You need it to beat the final boss. If you don't have it, like one of the first levels, you need that just to get past somewhere. And it's like, what? Well, how am I supposed to beat this level if I don't get it till, like, 500 years later? Yeah. But I guess the reason I liked it most was because it was so easy. My little brother, who's, like, 5 or 6, can beat the first level in less than a day. Yeah. Or was that the whole game? No, just the first level. Yeah.
So yeah,
But the people who made it, I'm pretty sure that the people who designed the actual game itself were pretty good at designing games. Because then once you get to the end of the very, very, very final thing, it is impossible.